I'm not going to lie, I think this is a pretty cool problem. We've got here two, I'm not going to call them equations, they're inequalities, right? Equations would imply an equal sign. These things do not have equal signs, they're inequalities, which means there's going to be shading when you try to graph it. But the two inequalities are not really the same sort of thing at all. This one, right here, is linear. Okay, it's just a line type inequality, and we could rearrange that into y equals mx plus b form. And I'm going to say, okay, what do we have here? 3x plus 6y is less than or equal to negative 18. Well, let's rearrange that and make it 6y is less than or equal to negative 3x minus 18. I'm doing subtraction here. And then I'm going to divide each side by 2 and say y is less than or equal to negative 3 over 6 minus 3. Oops, forgot my x. Okay, so there's my inequality for the first one. And I'm low. Oh, I have more space. I can do this. Now this other one, this is not a line at all. This is something else going on. And you can probably tell by looking at the graph, that's going to be a circle. And the way I want to rearrange this guy is the following. 3y squared minus 48 greater than negative 3x squared. Okay, that's what I start with. And I rearrange it to have this form. We'll keep 3y squared. 3y squared plus 3x squared is greater than 48. Divide each side by 3, and I have y squared plus x squared is greater than 16. Now, if you remember anything about circles, it should be this formula, which is y minus k squared plus x minus h squared equals r squared. That's the formula of a circle. And you can see some similarities here. The first thing that should jump out is that k and h are 0. The center of the circle is at 0. Well, that's great. That's all of these things, right? They're all centered at 0. Okay. And the other thing to notice is that r squared is 16. So for my formula right here, for this circle, it's telling me that r equals 4. The radius of the circle is 4. And it's also telling me something about how I should shade it. Which portion of the graph should I shade? This means, right here, this greater than symbol, that means everything outside the circle. Because these are all the x and y coordinates that are bigger than a radius of 4. Okay, if that were less than, it would mean everything inside the circle, everything that's less than the radius. So I can rule out some things just based on that. See this? That one's wrong because it has the inside of the circle shaded. Now these other ones all have the outside of the circle shaded, so I have to use some more information here. I have to use this information about the line. So let's grab this guy over here. This line says y is less than or equal to a line with negative slope and a negative y-intercept. Remember this formula, y equals mx plus b. What that means is if I look at this equation, I've got negative slope and also negative y-intercept. The place where the line hits the y-axis is going to be negative. So where is that true? They all have negative y-intercepts. Seriously? Okay. They all have negative y-intercepts. They all have negative slopes. But I can at least tell that this wants me to shade something in particular. Okay, give me my, there we go. Magenta. I want to shade, because of this negative or less than or equal to, I want to shade below the line. So which one of these graphs has only below the line shaded? Well, it's not this one, that's above the line. It's not this one, that's also above the line. I have two graphs left. Oh, and one of them I should have crossed out earlier, because this one has a portion of inside the circle shaded. So these two orange X marks, those were inside the circles. Those are wrong. The two pink marks, those are above the lines. Those are wrong. There's only one thing left. This is my correct answer right here. It is both outside the circle and below the line.